Today, during episode 297 of Look What Jess Found, we went through a, an unsearched, a truly, I mean it 100%, I swear, unsearched penny roll from eBay, which of course is code for truly searched. Whenever you see truly unsearched on eBay, that's code for truly searched. And now, with that said, this specific roll, I don't know. Anyway, I was gonna say I don't know if they knew who it was who was buying it or whatever. Not that I'm so important or famous or anything like that, but anyway, this roll that we got happened to be probably worth the value of what I paid for it, which was $11. Due to the 3 Indian head cents, which are worth about $5. So the other 47 wheat cents. And anyway, in this episode, in this video, not episode, in this video, this is a continuation of episode 297. We're going to do the research on 3 pennies that I put to the side. Let me get my glasses on. Let me get up coppercoins.com's date guide. And now we can look it up and I'll show you. So these are the 3 pennies we're going to do. Let me show you the 3 pennies we're going to research right now. We're going to research the 1947. We're going to research the 1957. And we're going to research the 1956D. Okay? So those are the ones we're researching for this video. Now I'm going to put the camera to the screen. This is the date guide. I know Eric and some of our members get a kick out of when I do this. So this is it. It's as good as it gets. All right. So now we'll start from the first one. 1940. So on each one of these pennies that I put to the side, there appears to be some notching. And again, if one of them happens to be what they show, then I'll re-show it. So what did I say? 1947. 1 PDO. Okay. Now I'll move it over a little bit. All right. Now, as you can see, Copper Coins has identified. Okay, I gotta move it over a little bit more so you can see. Has identified the. Well, let's read what it says. A moderate to strong clockwise rotation, hub doubling. Okay. See, and this is where I get a little confused. And Eric from keeneEyeCollectables, his YouTube channel is listed in the description below. He's our oldest member. He's very knowledgeable on this stuff. Let me take off my sweater. It's getting a little warm up in here. Up in here. Okay. And see, I thought hub doubling was machine doubling because it's when the hub die tilts when it strikes, and it creates an illusion of it being a double die. See, that was my understanding. Now, in Eric's comment, all of the double die coins are double die coins. All of the The varieties are errors, but not all errors are varieties. All right, so maybe I need to read this a little bit more carefully. Varieties are errors where an organization or individual saw it fit and practical to name the die that struck the coin. Well, that would not be the case for hub doubling, though, because hub doubling isn't that a tilted? That's a tilted hub error. So not all. So he's Compa Coins is identifying hub doubling here as being the error on that he's showing here, and that is not a die variation, as I understand it. And that's why I was saying to tell people that, just because you see something, it does not mean it's a true double. And that's where I was talking about true double die. A hub, to me, hub double. All right, and you know what? Let me just look it up instead of assume. Let me look up hub doubling. All right, and it's on double die error refs, which I like error refs also. Okay, and he's calling it a double die variety. A double die hub doubling is called by a misalignment or mismatch between a working hub and a working die. So you can look this up yourself if you want. This again, this is on error-ref.com. You can click the link below. It's in the description. The misalignment or mismatch occurs between a first and subsequent hub, or sometimes in the course of a single hubbing. A single hubbing. Misalignments can occur along 3 planes and 3 axes. Double dies that are the result of misalignments are variously characterized as rotated, offset, pivoted, or tilted, which is what I typically use the term tilted hub, even though there's 3 other ways to rotate it, obverse, and pivot it. Double dies that are a result of design mismatch are variously characterized as distended, distorted, modified, or design hub doubling. A total of 8 classes are recognized. Okay, right. And those, okay, and I've seen those before in the other website that also Eric showed me, which is I have it here, so let me just put it up on the board. Here we go, Konica. And Konica has, so here he's saying, it said, what did it say? It said eight classes are recognized, but here on Konica, it says 9 classes. So I don't know if they're talking about 2 different things. And here it goes, rotated hub doubling. The direction on all hub doubling is determined by which hubbing is weakest and less complete towards the hubbing that is clearest and most complete. RPMs are the opposite. When one thinks about double dice, class 1 probably is the type that one imagines, as many of the big classic double dice examples through the years were indeed class 1. Okay. The misalignment in the type of hub doubling emerges from 2 separate hubbings. Prior to the second hubbing, the working hub of the working die becomes rotated relative to the original or first hubbing. Class 1 double dies are identified as displaying a clockwise or counterclockwise rotation. Doubling typically has a rounded appearance when the hubbing impressions are extremely close. The double die may only be recognized from notched serifs or corners, subtle separation lines, or extra thickness, which are the things that are spoken about often on copper coins. Other big examples. Now, okay, I see what they're saying. So just when, so my brain tries to figure things out and simplify things. I don't know if your brain is like that also. And that's to make sense of what you're looking at, right? It's probably a human process. But unfortunately, simplifying things can also erroneously change the meaning of it, and you can not know what you're talking about after a while. Which I am at fault of quite often. So the hub, see, I guess I didn't understand when I was reading before. I always considered hub doubling to be a type of machine doubling. Let me see if they have any offset, pivoted, distended, modified. This is the one. Tilted hub doubling is the one that I used most to describe machine hubbling. And you know what? I would have to say I'm wrong, I guess, because it's considered class 8. Tilted hub. The premise of the class 8 misalignment event is that the hub was tilted on the die. Okay. Most examples show only a partial hubbing. If the die tilts from any given point outside the midsection, a corresponding lateral move of the hub misaligns the perimeter of the hub with the die below. This will cause the doubling to go inward towards the center of the die along with the tilt, the hub, and inherent misalignment. There can be some rotation pivot or end up offset in any given direction. This additional hub movements are considered indirect and not noted as additional level of misalignment unless they are equally paramount as the tilt. A hybrid example is the 1939 DD01 that shows a rotation that is strangely hemispherical, suggesting the die was also tilt, making it a class 1 plus 8. And then the class 9 here is the single squeeze, which is probably why it was not spoken about as being and ever ref as being the other 8 classes, because I'm assuming a single squeeze was not what they were looking at as being a double die, which is a double squeeze. Okay. So it's very easy to get this stuff confused, which I am guilty of on a regular basis. And thankfully, I have members who are knowledgeable about these errors that help me. So I will go back to copper coins. We are still looking at the 1947. And what we want to check, why I'm doing this research, is to check for, I guess, notching or movement on the mostly the one looks clipped or short. I just noticed that on the 9 and the 4 and the edge of the 7, or to the west of the date. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to copper coins again. Okay, and all of these are on the east. Ours is on the west. He's showing it on the east. That's not ours. There's also something on the eye, which I'm probably never going to be able to see because it's so worn down. And then there's a second page. Triple die, incomplete offset, hubbing can be seen, north doubling can be seen. The 9 in the date, the T and the U in trust. Okay, and here goes this other one, which is showing on the west of the 7, but on the south of the 4, which I do not believe. I'll check again that there's anything south on the 4, which would be make it a class 1DO 007. No. It does not show it there. It shows it here. Let's see. Let's go back. And sometimes there's a second page. So if you go here, you'll see there's another 1DO. Why? Oh, that's for the D. And that's the S. Okay, so there's only one P, 1DO. That's it. High grade photos. Nothing. Okay, so it's not there. What I see here is not what I see there. So I'm going to assume that that's not a double die, even though it looks pretty notched up. All right, next is the 1957. 1P, 1DO. And there's, see on this one, there's another 1P, 1DO here. See, this one has two 1957's 1P, 1DO. I'm not sure why it does that for. To me, it's confusing. All right, here we go. Extra thickness shown on the date, Liberty, and We Trust. Let me look. I don't think so. I see notches and things that look like might be spread, but obviously that doesn't mean it's a double die. Extra thickness shown on Liberty motto with some separation in the motto, especially in We, in God We. Possibly. I have to look at the pictures. Let's click the pictures. But you can really see it here, like in the U, especially to the north. You see, it's to the it is to the north. But you can really see the separation here, though. See, the person here puts his name 1DO004P class 2 plus 6. I don't think we got that. There is on the Wii. Let me see. Yeah, I have to clean this one off a little bit. There's dirt on it. It's dirty. Hard to say. I see. It looks like what I see is some spread in the W in the Wii. He's got the line. I guess that's the maker's mark right here. I'm assuming that's the case. So I guess that's one of the indicators. Let me look in the back between the N and the I. The N and the I united. That's a real close up there. I do not see that. Oh, in the U.S. And I guess that's the bottom of trust, or is that the reverse? If that, I don't know if that's trust or not. Well, it has to be. Yeah, there is trust. No, it could be in plurius in the reverse also. So I don't know if that's trust or from plurius. Pluribus. I don't know how to say plurius for it's pluribus. The pluribus does not have, but the trust on the bottom of the U. That's something very slight, and same thing with the S. So very, very difficult. Let's go to the second page. So I'm going to say no to this one also. And then the last one would be 1956D. The D does not look repunched to me. All right, let's see what it says. 1956D. 1956. 1956D. D1DO. And there's only one D1DO, right? Yes, there's only one D1DO. Okay. I could check the eye. Let me check the eye real quick. I don't think so. Oh, man. 9 pages? All right. A lot of them are showing the eye. I want to see date. Oh, there's a lot of double die eyes. I guess that's it. Oh, hey, all right. We got one date. Extra loop inside the 9. Extra loop. I guess that's it right there. Which it does not have. It has notching on the 5. Doubling seen on RTY and Liberty. Not on the north like in that picture. Nope. Zippo. And I'll show you the coin. I'm going to look at, and we can look at the eyelash together. Okay, so let's look at the coin now. And this will be the end of the video. It took way, 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 way too long. I have to get a little closer, obviously. So let me bring it closer to me. So I do not see anything in the eye, which is what, now I'm seeing a little thing under the eye right there. That's so weird. I put it to a certain angle, and I see that little ball right there on the cheek. Let me look at that. No, I don't think so. It's weird though, but I don't think that's what any of them were talking about. No, it's not. Uh, okay, what I was looking at was the notch. Like you see on the left, there's a notch on the 5. There's a notch. Well, anyway, there's one. The real obvious one's on the 5, and it looks like there's a little notch on the 6. But as this is not identified at all on out of 9 pages, I'm going to assume it's just post mint. That, but right there, look how good it looks there. It really looks like a second 5 to me. But again, not identified. You know what I'm gonna do? Just as one last thing, I'm gonna look on eBay. I like eBay. I'm gonna look on eBay for And what is it called? 1956. 1956. I'm going to put DDO, and we're going to look to see if we see anybody else identifying on all of eBay. See, what I want to see really is the graded, a graded one that shows it, right? And that shows that specific. I'll show you right now what I'm looking at, just so we can do it together. All right. And if somebody shows it close, then I'll look at it also. A lot of them are showing the eye, right? The eye, that was the most obvious one. And even look, he puts question marks here, like, hey, maybe that's it. I don't know. And the only reason I'm really looking this one up, he has it here. And he's putting it as a DDO. This is what we have. See, and that looks very similar to what we have. So what does that tell me? Well, it might be nothing, but it also might be that that's a dye variation. Now, what a true research would probably do, which I'm not, is really go into looking for the maker's mark, which I'm not doing. I'm not going that nuts on this. I just want to see if somebody else has what I seen, if someone else has it. That's all I want to see. And we found one already, which was pretty cool. All right. See, this person has it, but he doesn't have it. But there's nothing on the grading as being a double dye. Look how beautiful that penny is, huh? I wonder if it's cleaned. All right. So we found one. I mean, I'm not going to click on every single penny. You know what I mean? I wish they would have had more close-ups of it. That would have been cooler. All right, don't pay $500 for any of these. Okay, do yourself a favor. All right. So we just found the one that was very similar to ours. All right, so I got to be honest with you. I'm probably, even though someone might disagree with me, out of the whole roll, if there was one penny that I felt strongly about whether or not it has a dye variation, it would be this one. I feel as if I've seen enough of these to know that line going straight up and down on the left of the 5 looks like it offset or displaced the metal beneath it that you could see to the left of that line. So I have to say I feel strong enough about that to say, not that this is necessarily a dye variation, but that it's a mint error, meaning that that's not supposed to look like that. Okay, in short. So a half-hour video on this is, I don't want to say it's the problem, it's the challenge, which a challenge and a problem can be the same thing, right? Some problems can be challenging. Some problems, 1 + 1 is a problem, but I know the solution very quickly. It's 2, right? So because something's a problem doesn't mean it's challenging. This is a challenging problem for me because there's so many different equations, solutions, and only one, excuse me, so many different equations, and there's only one solution or none, which means you might be twiddling your thumbs. Anyway, long story short, I like this. Out of all the pennies that we looked at today, the 50, I like that one. I'll put it to the side. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please click like and subscribe. Thank you, Eric, very much for taking your time out to point out that information. I find it very educational and I appreciate it a lot. I don't like making errors, but I think this is part of the process. And hopefully I get to, through my mistakes, hopefully it helps others who are making the same mistakes learn from mine. So hub doubling is a type of double die that can be confusing with machine doubling. I think that's my ultimate takeaway between my understanding at this point between hub doubling and machine doubling. Now, I could look up what machine doubling is, but obviously it's, I shouldn't say obviously. I mean, you know what? Let's do it. As a last little, if you're still here, you're machine doubling on a coin. Machine doubling. Yeah, I'll let you read it too. We could read it together. We could be geniuses together. Machine doubling on a coin can occur when the edges of the letters or numbers on a coin are spread out due to excessive polishing of the die. See, they always have to add another dimension to the subject matter. And it just, the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is why people don't want to learn this stuff. They just want other people to answer their questions. I get it, man. I get it. To identify a double die obverse coin, you can look for double words or dates on the coin, head side, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Due to extensive polishing. The form of doubling typically results from vibration or instability affecting the die assembly, or press frame. It has occasionally been blamed on a coin sticking to the anvil during ejection, also called ejection doubling. All right, well, first of all, this is really strong doubling, and they're calling that machine doubling, which, of course, I would have, to me, I would have still considered that, I would have considered this to be a double die. Maybe they are. It's just, oh, here we go. Machine doubling. Here we go. Striking error. Machine doubling. We're gonna read it together. Let's go. Let's do it, man. We're here. Forget about it. Let's just go. Let's just take our medicine. All right. This is on errorref.com, so you can look it up yourself. This form of doubling typically reserves, okay, machine doubling has synonymous with mechanical doubling, machine double damage, machine damage doubling, ejection doubling, shift doubling, and strike doubling. There are three basic forms of machine doubling: push doubling, slide doubling, rim restricted design. And here goes some of the images, which are really strong. I mean, that's super duper strong, these images that they're showing here. Push doubling, slide doubling, rim restricted design, duplication. Well, first of all, this is very strong. If I saw that, I would instantly think that this was a double die. But according to this, it would be considered machine doubling, but it doesn't appear, is machine doubling a type of double die? I'm thinking not. So this stuff is super duper complicated and confusing, and it's easy to get confused, but that's what the channel's for, man. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to master this stuff. If it takes 10 years, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my time in, and hopefully I get to pass some of that information. Eric and my other members get to pass some of that information on to me, and I get to, so the few pass it to the one, and the one passes it to, well, the millions. I mean, the channel, I don't know if any of you have noticed, but the channel, we're just about hitting 2 million views. And we're not even open a year. It'll be a year in a couple months. So almost 4,000 videos, almost 10,000 subscribers. Thank you, Jesus, for everything you've given me. Okay, thank you very mucho. God bless all of you. Remember, Jesus loves you. And I will see you in the next one.